But hey, we're saying good morning to you again. We miss you guys. We should have how many days until we come back? Countdown.
That's a good idea.
But we don't know that yet. But that's coming. Maybe that's the next.
It's a few months at this point.
Morning show. Yeah.
Over 90 days.
Over 90 days. So we'll count that down. So we had
120 maybe. More than that.
Yeah. Who knows? So yesterday I wanted to touch base on what we did yesterday. Yesterday we talked about the etiquette of snoring and
snoring is not etiquette.
Etiquette
of sleep.
The etiquette of sleep.
Snoring goes against the etiquette of sleep.
When
By the way.
when and how to interact with someone who is snoring. So I wanted to take a few minutes just to comment on some of these comments here. Joey Zeifer, throwing stuff at roommates, that's a good way to get you kicked out of an apartment, Joey Zeifer. And Becky, I wanted to say something to Becky Ventura. If you're watching this,
Probably move that.
move this so you can see me.
Yeah.
You know, you turned this into a whole competition with points and everything with your comments here. Kat, I'm totally with you. Ryan snores something awful. And she didn't use an L, she used an exclamation point instead of an L on awful. I'll just point that out. I wake him up all the time and give him a kick or a nudge, exclamation point. She was screaming the whole time she was writing this.
Becky, she's an emotional person.
And you're right. I think it interrupts the snoring pattern, at least long enough for me to fall back to sleep.
Exactly.
Smiley face, sideways smiley face.
Exactly.
1 point for Team Cat. So she created teams and points in competition. Before,
And
this was just an opinion thing.
As a result, I won.
Well, no. I mean, this was this
Good
was
job.
like us sharing and like valuing each other. So that was the whole idea. We're just going to be saying good morning to people, loving people.
Just so happens everyone shared their opinion and pretty much everyone agrees with me. So
I am not entitled to my opinion?
no, you absolutely are. It's just wrong.
Okay, well, let's move on. So, anyway, Becky started this whole thing. Sally Raber, someone died. That's not good.
Yeah.
Ford, Tom is arousing.
If only
Right back at
someone
you,
had
buddy.
been there to wake that person up.
Ford said I was arousing.
Yeah, well.
And 2 people liked it. Me, one of them, and Joey. Ryan, hilarious. 5 people liked his. We should get him to comment on all.
Yeah, we should read it then.
All right, Ryan. Becky snores like a rabid baboon. Ha! Becky. Snoring is more like angels. My snoring is more like angels, and I'm convinced somehow it brings glory to God. I'm sure it does. Moving along, Zach, thanks for the point, buddy. Tyler Griffin, you know what? I'm reading all these. I'm thinking everyone's ganging up on me. I'm losing. I'm in a very vulnerable place. Tyler Griffin, I invested a lot in him. He was one of my best friends, and I took him under my wing and as a high school student, and this is what I get from him. Tom is wrong, Kat is right.
Never won. Thank you, Griffin.
Sally Varner,
I
Barney.
always knew Griffin liked me better than he liked you.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to be picking him up from soccer practice anymore, that's for sure. Listen to this, Whitney Stanio. Tom reads a book to go to sleep. Kat wakes Tom up to go to sleep. We all have solutions. Kat, if you can't wake him up when he snores, steal his books. Whitney Stanio is against me sleeping
Team
altogether. Team Cat. She thinks that I should have no sleep privileges at all. Not only if I'm snoring, I should be awoken. I should have books or blankets, pillows. She's just against she just does not like me sleeping at all. Listen to this.
Sorry about your luck.
Sherry Springer. My question is, when did Tom become concerned about etiquette? I have always been concerned about etiquette. Look at this.
It's the same question I asked.
Watch this.
Sherry.
Etiquette. Pinky up.
Pretty sure that's not etiquette. I'm pretty sure.
I was really hard with that, really.
Something else.
I've always been concerned about etiquette. It's been one of my chief concerns of all time.
Sure.
Matt Moss talking about his dad, like always. Roaring hyena, that's about right. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, David.
From David.
Bethany snores, but he's still giving points to Kat, so I'm not happy about that.
The only person it looks like you had 100% on your side was Josh Knuckle.
I'll take it. Love that guy.
And I'll say something to that effect. One Josh Knuckle supporting vote for you does not cancel out the other million votes I had.
You're not
Even though,
well,
you
I think that's a
that's
gross
true.
exaggeration. There's not even about 15 people voted on this. There's no way you have a million.
Anyway,
Josh Knuckle, thank you, sir. But listen to Stacy's. Kat, I do that to Josh all the time, except
Really?
instead of asking him to wake up because he's snoring, I usually take his face in my hands and shake it really hard to get him in a better position to breathe.
that's a good tip.
Totally a
I'm gonna
health
try that
risk.
one next time.
Yeah, totally a health risk.
That's
Totally
okay.
a life risk. That sounds like murder to me.
Apparently,
Shaking violently by the face.
I tried to do it. The most kind way I could, but now Stacy has given me a much better way.
If you shake my face, I'm gonna go crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, thanks for the comments, everybody. Some of you, most of you, you know. So anyway, we need to move on to our next segment where we talk about a story or something interesting that's happened to us recently.
The grocery store seems like a pretty harmless place, right? You go, you get your groceries, you get in, you get out. Pretty painless situation.
Let me just say, I've never liked the grocery store. And I'll tell you why. It's crowded, and you can't ever
He
get...
has a panic attack anytime we go grocery shopping.
I have a panic attack every time I'm in a position where I can't go the places I want to go. Like
at the speed.
I want to go. I want to walk as fast as I want to walk and have no obstructions. And the grocery store is full of obstructions and slow walking. People are always there looking at stuff, and you're trying to weave around them, and people are coming up behind you with big metal things on wheels. It's
dangerous.
It's anxious. It makes me anxious. I think that anyway, the grocery store, we had I think the most embarrassing
that could ever happen in
event.
a trip.
Every embarrassing thing that can happen in a grocery store happened to us in one trip. We'll quickly walk you through this.
What is that? 2 birds with 1 stone? More like 50 birds with 1 stone. That's how embarrassing
and
it is.
birds are embarrassing events.
Yes.
And the stones are us in the grocery store.
Maybe.
Stoners.
Maybe.
Anyway, so we're there at the grocery store, and well, first of all, we don't have like we take most of our money and put it away, and we don't actually have it to use and have. But when it gets to the end of the month, it gets kind of tight.
Yeah.
So we're at the end of the month. We're really hungry. We didn't have much food, so we needed to buy food, but we didn't have money, which is a precarious situation.
We didn't have a lot of money.
We didn't have a lot. We had no money.
We had some.
All we had was a check. We had a check from Marketplace Earth.
Sure.
Yeah, Marketplace Earth check.
Hello.
We went and deposited it, and we thought we could immediately go and spend this.
Because it was under $100.
Because it was under $100, we thought that would go right into your account. But that wasn't our home bank. It's out of state, whatever. So our cards were shut off, but we didn't know that. We thought we could just deposit the money. So we went and got the bare essentials from the grocery store. Got them all together, anxiously weaving between people, customers, and then we make it to the line. And Kat kind of holds up this before we get there. She's like, "Hey, should we try SpaghettiOs? Like, do you like SpaghettiOs?"
Who doesn't like SpaghettiOs?
I said, "Yeah, I kind of like SpaghettiOs, but I haven't had them in 8 years."
Right, it's a throwback, and I was craving it.
Throwback.
So.
And Kat was like, "Yeah, I love them too. I haven't had them forever either." So we throw some SpaghettiOs in the cart, and then we get to the thing, and she's like, "Oh, I wanted to grab one other thing. Just load it up there, and I'll be right back." So I'm loading. I put up the divider. The divider is there. I put up all the grocery store items,
Yep.
that I wanted to purchase. And I'm just waiting there in line, and this lady with her son is in front of me, and Kat's not there. And this kid walks over. His mom's not looking. Walks over, grabs a can of SpaghettiOs off of our side of the divider, and puts it on his side of the divider.
That's stealing.
That's stealing.
Especially with the divider there. That's like the divider of the law.
But the worst part of it all was the mom didn't see him do it. So what do I do? So I just go and grab the SpaghettiOs and put it on my back on our side, and the mom sees it. She sees me, so what she thinks is she's looking over at her purse. She looks over, and I'm stealing SpaghettiOs from her. So
what
she
it looks like.
So she looks at me, and she's angry, obviously, and I told her, no, listen.
Did you cross the divider of the
Yeah,
law?
the divider, you don't cross that divider. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
I told her, no. Your son, and he was too young. He was very young. I don't think he could really speak very well. He could steal, but not speak. So I was like, no, your son took these SpaghettiOs from our side and put them on your side. I'm not taking yours, I promise. And she's kind of just looking at me, and then she's like, but we had SpaghettiOs. Where are our SpaghettiOs? I don't know. I was like, I don't know. I don't know where they are. So she's going through all of her stuff, and she doesn't have she doesn't have SpaghettiOs. She thought she grabbed SpaghettiOs, and then she didn't have them, and I couldn't assure her that she never did, and that I didn't steal them from her. And she's just like really upset.
Awkward.
And I keep apologizing. I'm like, no, I promise I'm not stealing these. I promise that your son moved these. And she's like, whatever, it doesn't matter. So she never believed me. So then she leaves.
It's our turn.
And Kat comes up, and I try to tell her, and then the cashier, I have to apologize to the cashier because he thinks I'm a thief. I'm like, no, I promise. Those were ours. He took them. I don't know what happened. So then you show up, and then it continues, though.
Yeah, it gets worse. So we're checking out, and we don't have that much stuff. We have like $40 worth of stuff.
No. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Not that much.
Not that much at all. So he gives us the total, and we try to use our cards because I thought we had enough left on our cards to use our cards.
We're plenty.
Slice it through the card reader. Denied. Because our bank account won't let us overdraft. Way to go, Chase. I adore that. So, we're sitting there. That's a pretty embarrassing thing in and of itself because there's people in line behind you, then there's the cashiers in front of you, and there's people all around. I mean, you're the center of attention at this point. The limelight is on you at this point. And so we're like, okay. And then Tom looks at me and he's like, do you have a check? And I'm like, I don't know. The only checks we got were when we opened the checking account and they give you like 5 in that little booklet.
Yeah, the generic checks.
And
But don't have your name on it or anything.
yeah, they don't have your name on it. It barely even looks like a check. You know what I mean?
So Kat hurriedly writes this check, right?
Yeah, really quickly.
Give it to him, and the guy's like, your name's not on this. Your account information. So Kat's you gotta put all of our account information on it.
Yeah, and it takes forever. And the people, behind us are giving big hefty sighs, and we're like, yeah, we get it. You can breathe.
So then anyway,
Good for you.
she gives it back to him. He goes, well, I gotta see a driver's license. Give him a driver's license, Ohio driver's license. He goes, we can't take out-of-state licenses and checks of thieves of SpaghettiOs. So he doesn't say that, but I know that's what he's thinking. So he's got to go talk to the manager. So he's talking to the manager, and we're standing there like, and then...
And that just draws even more attention. When the manager comes out, that's like the big guns of the grocery store. Everyone knows.
Yeah.
I mean, they might as well just announced our situation over the intercom so that people in the back could have heard what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
But the manager okayed it, thank God. We got our food, we ate. It was all good, but it was embarrassing.
Oh, it was the worst. We got out of there as quickly as we could.
Yeah. With our heads down, tails between our legs. So tell us, what do you have any really embarrassing grocery store stories? We would love to hear them, and we would like to know what you think about ours. And responses to those awful comments. Hurtful comments that you made towards me. Anyway, so that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed this. We will talk to you later.